Oh God. Oh, this makes me want to do a desk race. Oh! Boys, it is time to get back into video game development. And what exactly are we going to be developing, you ask? It's about time we actually flesh out a good story for the game. Start to finish, beat by beat, moment by moment. Need to figure out how in the hell this game is going to work, how it's going to function, what are going to be the core gameplay loops, what's going to make it a good game worth playing. Let's see if we can't get a good game story going. Now, a little certain game came out today, boys. I think you know what's up. Low-key game by the name of like Cyberpunk. I'm sure you guys haven't heard of it. It's by like a little indie studio. I actually forgot that it was gonna come out. So boys, I just remembered I've got to like do the washing or something. So see you tomorrow. Yeah, bye. Fuck, I completely forgot that shit was there. See you, boys. I'm just gonna have to cut it early real quick. Is what a bitch would say. I wouldn't do that to you, boys. Work before play, okay? More worky, less talky. That is what we are going to be accomplishing today. That's right, boys. The glasses are going on. Let's have a look over what I've got so far. First few seconds of the game will be visuals being fully throttled. I want a jaw-droppingly beautiful impression for every player. Beautiful. No main screen, no chaos foreshadowing. Just a button that says awaken or some shit. The player gets thrust in a world with a bang. The player's first item will be a flint axe used to chop down trees as well as make a temporary weapon. Okay, so that's kind of like a little bit of like a first gameplay loop, almost like crafting an axe. But what I really want to focus on is the story and what are some main key plot points for how everything's gonna play out. It's basically a game about character development, not just your character's development, but your character development as well. So in a way, you're not just progressing your character, you're progressing yourself. That's definitely something that I want to do. At the end of the day, it's still gonna be a fun game to play, right? We're gonna have an overarching story of cool shit, pretty much. So I do want to give a definitive ending. I don't want it to go on forever. Beginning, middle, and done. Go on with your life. You don't play the game for the next 10 years. One thing I didn't get, is this for Arcane or something else? Interestingly enough, boys, we're not actually working on Arcane anymore. Arcane has been abandoned. It is very sad. F in chat, boys, for Arcane. It had a long run, but unfortunately, it just had to be put down. It's gone. Ripperonis, boys. Ripperonis. I put so much time and effort into that game, man. And I'm giving up on it now. I tell you why, though. Arcane may be dead, but what stands in its place is something even better. I introduce to you, boys, Arcane up with an A, not an E. Same game, different name, boys. Now, the reason I had to fucking do that is because Riot, okay, they're coming out with a fucking anime called Arcane. Riot Games, creator of League of Legends, have patented and licensed the name Arcane animated series. Arcane sounds better anyway. I wanted Arcane from the get-go. I didn't even want Arcane, bro. I don't even like that name. It's shit. Ideally, I would like not to have infinite scope on this game. In the past, I've been like, it'll take as long as it needs to take. A decade, 2 decades. I don't care. I want to make a perfect game. But at the end of the day, no game is truly perfect. So I think I'm gonna make it definitive. It's gonna have an end, it's gonna have a timeline, it's gonna have a release schedule. I don't know what it's gonna look like exactly yet. I'm thinking 2 years, try and aim for that. So we're just gonna come up with a bunch of different ideas today that could be cool, that could be nice. Ending, you get a hot anime GF. Yeah, that would be an excellent ending. Spoiler warning, boys. There are going to be a lot of spoilers, but that's because I'm documenting this whole process. There's no way you're going to avoid any of the story spoilers. Starting out a new plan, I always divide. I first figure out what the theme, what it's about, and then the atmosphere, what kind of feelings you want to invoke, then the story beats. Yeah. The general atmosphere of this game is going to be kind of like a psychological horror. Limbo is a good example. Yes, Limbo is an excellent example. Limbo has excellent atmosphere. Okay, so the atmosphere is you're shit scared of many things. Throughout the course of the game, you will learn to overcome the things that scare you the most. It's not a like, oh, this looks really scary, and oh, that scared the shit out of me because it popped up and made a really loud noise. It's like a, why haven't you been doing the dishes, sweetie? Type horror. You know, deeply embedded terror about certain topics. There's just like a bunch of issues that I won't touch on. Maybe like the 7 deadly sins, honestly. we make the 7 deadly sins, every single one of them, into a boss that the player has to kill and overcome. Sure, it's not really a unique idea, but it's definitely something worth exploring. Sort of make make caricatures of the 7 deadly sins. Lust or inordinate or illicit sexual desire. The entire porn industry. Awesome. Let's paste that in. Envy. Now, I don't particularly understand envy. I know it's like, let's try and put a definition on envy before I search it up. You're envious of someone, so you're jealous of their position, but it's kind of like an angry jealous type thing. I would love to read a, like, just some sort of book on this. Let's continue on with this list of sins, and then we will, get into what fucking books I need to start reading in order to research all this shit. Wrath or anger. Each of these can be overcome with the 7 corresponding virtues. So all 7 of these, we're essentially gonna take the player on a journey through all 7 of these, and we're gonna give the player the tools to overcome all 7 of them with the 7 corresponding virtues. Humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence. That's awesome. I like this. Diligence. There we go. Not a jump scare horror, but a deep psychological terror. I'm confused. Did Harry Potter shave his head and grow a mustache, or did you just beat him up in the streets and take his glasses and coding magic? The latter. You know, it might be cool to have the player start in a kind of heaven or utopia, then for a reason not be cast out of said utopia, much like Lucifer said. A biblical heaven. The story could be the player character literally overcoming the physical embodiments of the 7 deadly sins. That's a good idea, but to pull that off, you would first have to be in heaven. I would say there are more people in this world who know what hell looks like more than what heaven looks like. Most people aren't in heaven right now. Most people are in hell. Most people start off with nothing. And giving them all this to sort of go off and overcome. Maybe we can give them like a glimpse of heaven, like what it's actually gonna look like in the end. So you kind of start from 0 and work your way up, if that makes sense. You wake up in hell, not actual hell, not the frequently depicted fiery type hellscape, but more of a metaphorical one. That kind of works a bit better. So to do that, what I'm gonna need to do is do a shit ton of fucking reading and stuff, and just experience life a little bit more with this goal in mind of characterizing the 7 deadly sins and putting them into a game. So I've definitely got my work cut out for me. I'd like to get everything sort of settled and get the general idea of the story before actually going into full swing development mode, just so we don't really waste any time there. Alrighty boys, we covered a lot of ground. Like I've said, I've got a lot to think about here. Really, it's just gonna be me sort of sitting here just thinking, and every now and then coming up with ideas and writing them down. I will definitely try my best over the next few weeks, tell you guys about my progress with the whole story and whatnot, and sort of bounce ideas off you guys. So I'll see you boys when I see you.